But Android Saga or Frieza Saga, oh, I'd have to say, like, as much as the initial Super Saiyan transformation was like a world-changing event, especially for like anime in general, I have to go with the Android Saga, because like Super Saiyan, like we're going down here, what Thrill was saying, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was just a cut above. Like Super Saiyan 2 for Gohan was just like that breaking point, which like I think they should have like did a lot more with him than they did. The hyped Super Saiyan Blue up just to lose most of the time. Yeah. So look at this. We've got Super Saiyan God, and like everything was cool. And look at this Super Saiyan Blue, but like Super Saiyan Blue really never beats fucking anything. They gotta keep like stacking on top of it. Super Saiyan 3 is cool looking, but the narrative makes no sense as to why Goku would ever use it. Yeah, like, Super Saiyan 3 had such a power drawback that it's like, why fucking use it? Like, the fact that he used it against Boo was just pretty much a diversionary tactic. It was just like, well, Boo is really strong, so I gotta do what I can, but then, like, I'm not gonna be able to be on Earth anymore because I'm using up all my time, which I don't understand why his energy would tie into how much time he had during the day. But obviously they had to use that for story purposes. But, and yeah, like, Vegeta, like, literally, he had that, like, shat all over Super, friggin' Android 19, and then his Super Saiyan was fucking completely useless. Let's see. Where was I at? He refused to use Super Saiyan 1, Grade 2, and 3 because the energy drains. Yeah, and low speed. Why would he use SS3 when it's an even bigger drain than Grade 2? 100%. Especially since nobody had found the perfect balance for 2 yet until... Oh no, fucking 2, like, Gohan found the perfect balance for that. What am I talking about? Thank you, Team Gohan should have been the MC for a while. Yeah, exactly. Time skip killed us. 100%, like, I feel like the time jump between Super Saiyan 2 and, or the Cell Saga and the Buu Saga kind of, like, destroyed a lot. I feel like they, like, it would have been nice to really build on that and, like, give Gohan a little bit of the spotlight before he got back. Like, before Goku came back, because, like, you can see that they tried to give him a little bit more of a spotlight, but, like, you know, people didn't want Goku to be dead. But yeah, Vegeta's my favorite character as well, and his sacrifice against Buu was really good. Like, when he had that, like, there was, like, a giant, like, character building arc for him right there, which at the same time I would have loved to see more of Majin Vegeta. Like, he was dead. Like, out of all Vegeta's forms, even Super Saiyan 4, like, Majin Vegeta was, like, my favorite, because he didn't quite go back to, like, being evil, but he did at the same time. To be honest, I don't believe Vegeta would have let Gohan be weak. 100%. Like, I feel like with Goku gone, Vegeta would have been like, come on, like... Although, like, I don't know, like, they're scared of the women, like, they're scared of their women folk, like, even though, Bulma and Chi-Chi are substantially weaker than both Goku and Vegeta, it's like one of those things where once you realize when you're in a relationship that, that your significant other can have a hold over, can have a giant hold over you. Not in a bad way, but it's like, you sit there and it's like, oh no, they're angry. I don't like this. Future, and like, oh, the thing they did with fucking Trunks, man. Yeah, like, that was definitely a narrative goof for sure. Like, why wouldn't he spar with the kid all 7 years? Right? Because, like, I feel like Vegeta would have been like, man, like, obviously he knows he's stronger than us. Like, why would he not be like, I need, like, oh, maybe his pride wouldn't let him. Because, you know, like, we all know how prideful Vegeta is. Yeah, that's my Bulma! So I feel like that might have made it so that he didn't want to train with Gohan or spar with Gohan, but I feel like he probably would have every now and again just to see where he stacked up in terms of strength. Yeah, wife beats husband every time. And like the downgrade of fucking adult Trunks is fucking is a travesty, but at the same time I realize it and it fits the story for fucking Trunks, because like future Trunks in general was was the way he was because he fucking lost everybody. Like, he lost everything and everyone. Like, there's a reason he was the way he was. Like, hands down. So, like, I understand why after the androids were beaten and Cell was beaten, they kind of downgraded him a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I realized when he came back in Super that he still had, like, a world-changing event with Zamasu. But, like, it did... I feel like it didn't happen at the same time, so, like, there's still a difference where that might have changed him a little bit. Yeah, within a year, Vegeta could have fought Gohan at least once. Vegeta more of a leadership role. All of them would have had... oh my god. If Vegeta had gotten a leadership role in like, Dragon Ball Z, like, to train everyone, like, especially since, you know, Tien was still training. Yamcha was still training. Krillin was still training. Like... And don't get me wrong, I understand that Krillin probably took a little bit of a step back, and Yamcha as well, because obviously Yamcha had his, like, baseball career and whatnot, but, like, Tien was still training. Like, can you imagine the boost that Tien should have gotten? Yeah, exactly. Tien, like you're saying there, Bahamut, like, friggin', like, Trunks went through hell. Like, Bulma tried to protect him as much as she could, and she did a good job, but then, you know, he got pulled into it. Gohan tried to train him, and, like, he's seen some fucking wild shit. Like, and then fucking, like, finding his mentor and trainer's dead fucking body after, like, he almost died the first time and lost an arm. The speech from Vegeta in Super before Goku goes MUI is what I want from his character. Exactly! Like when you sit there and, like... And that's one of the things that kind of irks a lot of people about Super as well, especially where, like, you get, like, they dumb down Goku's character quite a bit in even just comparison to Z. Like, the fact that, like, you sit there and, like, Goku's character development from Dragon Ball to Z dropped a lot. And then from Z to Super dropped a lot. Yeah, like, exactly, Bows. Like, that was a king telling his greatest knight to stand and fight. And, like, a lot of people... And, like, that's one thing I really want Vegeta to fucking realize, is Vegeta is no longer the Prince of all Saiyans. Vegeta is the king. Like, I realize there are very few Saiyans left, that they know of anyways, because, like, as we start to go through, like, Vegeta's still got a brother, fucking there's all the Saiyans on Earth, fucking Broly was out there. Like, I can guarantee you right now, they could easily bring, like, especially from a story point, they could easily bring back the Saiyan race, and, like, not even just half Saiyans, like, they sent Saiyans all over the planets, like, to take over planets. Like, how are there not other Saiyans out there that didn't get back in time? Like, for the planet to fucking blow up. Like, come on now. But, like, that friggin' speech from Vegeta was, like, peak writing right there. Like in terms of any, and like especially character development wise for Vegeta. Like for Vegeta to sit there and say that, like it's like that, and like Bahamut was saying before. I know some of you guys over on TikTok can't see it, but I have somebody over on Twitch talking too. Like Vegeta's speech before he blew himself up, like that right there, and his speech from Super towards like Goku. Those speeches right there are the best like writing in Dragon Ball. This is Final Fantasy 13, Jake. It's an old PlayStation 3 game. Nope, this is a single player game. But like Vegeta, in terms of like even Dragon Ball all the way up through Super GT and everything, Vegeta has had the most character development over any character in existence. Like hands down, there's no argument to it. And don't get me wrong, like Tien had some good character development, Yamcha had some good character development because they used to be his opponents. They came up through Dragon Ball and stuff like that, especially like a lot of stuff that Tien has done. But and like even Piccolo, like Piccolo has had some great character development. But in terms of character development and just writing in general, Vegeta is like the best written character in that show, hands down. There's no argument about it. Like, Snow dragged us all into this. Oh, thank you for the GGs. Oh, 10 GGs. Jesus, man. Thank you, Jake. Much appreciated. Holy shit. Oh, Vegeta is the GOAT. Like, and people sit there and like, oh, everybody always goes for the anti-hero. It's like, you know, he was a terrible person. It's like, yes, we realize at the start Vegeta was a terrible person. Like, but that's what makes his character so good, is he went from being like, I'm just gonna fucking kill an entire planet of people. Oh, not a problem. Uni? Oh, Ferris. There we go. Fuck. I'm sitting there trying to read the name and I was like, what is going on? Not a problem. Hopefully we'll see you again there, Ferris. But yeah, like his character development is peak. The situation with Raditz always annoyed me. Vegeta has redeemed. Raditz should have been as well, but Goku didn't give him a second thought. Yeah. Like, at the same time, like, Bahamut, like, the Raditz thing, like, at the start, like, if they had given him time, I feel like Raditz could have been redeemed, but at that time, I don't feel like they had a choice. Like, Raditz was ready to fucking kill everything. Like, he's like, I'm gonna steal your son. You guys aren't strong enough to stop me, so, like, what choice did they have, kind of thing? Yeah, Vegeta just makes sense because he's the best written character. Like, there's a lot of other shows where, like, people, like, simp over, like, the bad guys and stuff like that. And it's like, why? Why are you simping over somebody who is such a terrible person? And, like, you can look at it and be like, yeah, they're a cool character. Like, they're a really cool character, and I can understand why people like them, but, like, them simping over them is just kind of like, I don't understand it at the same time. But then you sit there and it's just like, then you look at Vegeta and, like, he's so well written that, like, and, like, he's redeemed himself over and over and over again. Obviously, the mass genocides that he's been involved in, you can't expunge them. You really can't. Like, he was a terrible person. I can guarantee he's killed just as many people as Frieza has. Like, literally, first introduced in the Saiyan Saga, and he's on comms, and they float out of the atmosphere on this planet, and he just fucking nukes it. Like, come on now. Vegeta gives a speech everyone would have gotten. Yeah, like, when Vegeta sits there and, like, fucking starts telling you stuff and, like, how proud of you he is and how he's like, you know, he's put all of his trust in you. It's like, yes, 100% yes. Like, Goku sits there and he goes, yeah, I believe in you, man. It's like, you're good to go, son. I understand. And then it's like, I just wanna make sure that you're like tip top though. I'm gonna heal Cell right quick, just so you can like mollywop him real good to put him in his place. It's like, no, this is like a world-ending event, Dad. Like, I think you need to, I think you need to stop. Yeah. Oh my God, like, yeah, 100% thrill. Like, as much as we talk about people getting the dirty in fucking Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and stuff, Launch got the dirty more than anyone else. Akira Toriyama just forgot she fucking existed. Give me 1 second there. My nose was a little stuffed. The bean to sell. But like, that's what I mean. Like, there's so many things that sometimes in Dragon Ball and Z that are just like, really? Yeah, like completely forgetting about friggin' Launch was a travesty, because like Launch was a fucking really well written character. Like, that gimmick was fucking hilarious. Like, I always found to be a crazy fan of the character. Yeah, like how do you forget about somebody that's that ridiculous? I think Launch and friggin' Launch and Tien are like make the perfect setup together.
Let's pick up the pace.
Like, that would have been perfect. Like, I couldn't see her being with Krillin. I feel like Krillin was too terrified of Launch. Like, I feel like you know, like when you see Krillin and something like that happen, you're just like, oh God. Even though he could definitely beat her, like they're all like fucking immune to bullets. Come on now. At least for the most part. But like, Launch 100% should have been with Tien, hands down. But like, sometimes you just forget things. Tien with Chaozu. Let Launch be with Yamcha. Yamcha could not handle Launch. I'm sorry, Bows. Like, Yamcha couldn't handle Bulma, let alone Launch. Like, and don't get me wrong, Bulma is a strong-willed woman. Like, she fucking pulled Vegeta, but I don't think Vegeta could have handled Launch. Like, Launch was in a fucking, like, league of her own. Like, Launch is basically like Bulma to the extreme, put with Marin, like Krillin's first girlfriend, like the Bulma clone Marin. And like, I don't think that Vegeta could handle the fucking ditziness that was fucking Marin, and then switching to like Bulma's anger to the extreme. Like, he wouldn't be able to handle that. Like, just think about that. Oh, exactly, Groucho. Like, just think about that, going from one and like being the ditziest thing in existence, and Vegeta just like, Vegeta's on his last fucking leg being like, what is wrong with this woman? Like, this woman is driving me off the fucking wall. Like, I'm about to launch her into the stratosphere, and then sneezes and fucking pulls out like this rocket launcher and launches it into Vegeta's face because she's still going on about him forgetting something on like the grocery list or some shit. What do you mean you forgot to mop the fucking floors before I got home with the groceries? Rocket launcher. Because like, she's now putting away the fucking like the spices into the cabinet or something for like their personal chef to cook them food later, and like gets too much pepper in her nose, like, I can't believe this place is so fucking dirty, Vegeta. Rocket launcher to his face. Like, that's how I see that going. I feel like with just how zen Tien is, he's the only one that could put up with Launch. And I feel like I feel like I remember seeing even like gun-toting side of Launch having like this little thing for Tien, if I remember correctly. But Tien is the only one I see having any chance building anything with Launch whatsoever. Like, no doubt in my mind. And like, that's still a slim chance, because Launch is just fucking ridiculous. But like, and the even crazier part is like Launch being forgotten, but then Toriyama doesn't forget about I'm probably gonna butcher saying her name, like Ariel or Ariel or whatever the way you pronounce her name, like one of his other characters that's a fucking like gag and beats the shit out of everyone. Like, the fact that they brought her back in Super to beat the shit out of Vegeta for a little while was hilarious. Is it Arali? Okay. Yep, I definitely butchered that. Oh yeah, like, I understand, like, the significance of her. Like, cause, like, she came out for, like, a while, like, and then, like Dr. Slump and everything like that. But, like... but, like, remembering her and then completely forgetting about, like, such a unique character as Launch, because Launch was a huge part of Dragon Ball. Like, main character in the manga. Like, I understand. Need to play this trilogy again. It's been so long. I need to watch Super. I haven't given it a chance. Super is good. There's a lot of hate, like, a lot of unnecessary hate for Super. It's not as good as some people put it out to be, although it's got some really, really good points to it. I definitely recommend watching the Super movies as well before you get to certain parts in it, because the Super movies are like they're added into the series just to make them. I think I'm going backwards.
Did we forget something?
I'm gonna check the map right first, but they I feel like the shows are more well animated than the series, just because, like, usually that happens anyways with movies. Watch the movies, then skip the anime episodes. Yeah, I can 100% agree with that. Watch the movies, and then it'll be like the first couple episodes of the series, kind of like, I guess, kind of like a catch up. But it's saying, like, they don't really expand on anything. It's almost like verbatim. There's a couple things that are slightly different. But you're better off watching the movies first, because they do it more justice. But I find Super gets a little bit more hate than it deserves. I have watched the introduction to Beerus, Frieza, and the Broly movie. Oh, okay, no, you can probably wait until you finish the Tournament of Power and, like, finish Super. There's one more movie out. There's Dragon Ball Super Hero. It's the one where Gohan gets his new Beast transformation. It's after Broly.
That wasn't so bad.
But you can definitely wait until you're finished Super for that. Old Broly or new Broly, which one y'all like? See, that's, I like I'll always love OG Z Broly. But, like, OG Broly was... In my opinion, he was poorly written. Let's see, that's probably, yeah, a lot lower. Oh, wow, the Gladius is so much farther ahead than that. But yeah, OG Broly was just really terribly written. Like, they introduced such a great concept of the legendary Super Saiyan and him being, like, OP to the point where Vegeta actually dropped to his knees and was, like, and was scared. Like, to see Vegeta actually scared like that and rethink himself and, like, end up getting his pride, like, really stepped on was a really good, like, written part of the first movie, but, like, the original character for Broly in general is terribly written. Like, the fact that he hates Goku just for the fact that he was, like, a whining baby and, like, he couldn't sleep. That was stupid. The new Brawly, I find, is so much better written. Like, I like the fact that the reason he's so ridiculously strong and stuff is that he's tapping into the Uzaru power, and the fact that, and the fact that he's, like, basically tapping into, like, kind of like the beast mode of it, and the reason he can't control it is because it's fueled by his pure rage. New Brawly, Beerus and Frieza movies are the start of Super, Brawly and Superheroes after you finish Super. 100% bows, that's probably the best way to go about it. New Brawly's more interesting, Z Brawly is just hilarious and broken. Yes! The fact that the only way he could beat friggin' Z Brawly was to stuff a spirit bomb inside of his chest cavity. I feel like it would have been, like, it'd be nice to make some of the movies canon, too, but, like, I understand, like, a lot of the, like, even just the Dragon Ball Z movies, where most of them aren't canon, because they take place at certain points in the story where it's like, we can't fit them in, because somebody is off here doing something else. Or, like, they aren't on the planet anymore. So it doesn't make sense for them to be there. Oh, that hurt a little bit. Oh, fucking Hope, do your... Oh, never mind. I forgot it's not Hope in that version. But yeah, like, Brawly is definitely one of my favorite characters. Like, oh, I'm trying to think who in my list, right? DBZ movies could be an alternate universe where Piccolo didn't die. Oh, exactly. 100%. I think if we go by... I think Toriyama said that most of the movies are just alternate universes. Same where I think Dead Zone and Triomite are two of the best DBZ films. Oh, Dead Zone and Triomite are fucking amazing and closest to canon. They're very close, but if I remember correctly, there's just certain things that don't match up with, like, the actual story of Dragon Ball Z. I think there's certain things that make it impossible for them to be canon, but they're very close. Where was I going with that? But I think, like, Akira Toriyama said something about, like, even, like, a lot, especially where, like, a lot of people like to go and say that GT isn't canon, like, when people trying to start bringing up where Super Saiyan 4 is stronger than Super Saiyan God and stuff like that. I think Toriyama said that, GT is canon now, it's just a separate timeline. Same thing as, like, Future Trunks is a different timeline kind of thing. Especially where, if you look at, when they're, when they're in Super, in, like, the Zamasu arc, where they start, they show, like, all the different rings for every time you do time travel and stuff like that. It's a great Final Fantasy, Drew. Loved. You lived it? Holy shit! How did you survive? This world, like, were you stuck in the cocoon before everything happened? Or were you, like, down at the bottom? Oh, I think it was Toriyama that said it, but it would also make the most sense, especially where when Super happened. If you look at, like, when they did some of the time travel with, I think it was the Zamasu arc, and they showed all the different rings, which he said are different alternate realities. If you look at how many rings there are, like, there's one for, like, the original Dragon Ball and, like, Dragon Ball Z. There's one for Trunks' timeline. There's one, it looks like, for Super. I think it's, like, almost like one for the Kakarot timeline and the Xenoverse Saga. Like, because there's quite a lot of them. So, like, you could almost match... Oh, Hope is almost dead. You fucking got murked real fast. But there was, like, oh, he got murked real bad. We're gonna do that and bring him back to life because he's dead. But there's, like, enough rings that it would look like there's enough realities Oh, Cooler would be a great villain to make canon. But, like, I feel like it's too late for that now, especially with Frieza's new forms. Like, I feel like it would make Cooler a mute villain at this point, because, you know, Frieza's so much stronger now. Like, they're... Oh, well, I guess they could really do, like, a Brawly with him and, like... But the only thing is they wouldn't have to rewrite him, because Cooler is just a good villain to begin with. And he's very well written. Making it, like, timelines makes the most sense, though it ties in with the Xenoverse better. Yeah, like, and that's what I mean, like, when you look at the rings and stuff, like, Xenoverse 100% could be its own timeline, and still make sense, because there's so many different times they've time-traveled or had to fix things, especially with Trunks coming back twice. So, like, it's very, very possible that, like, a lot of the alternate timelines that we've seen in movies, or, like, things that people deem non-canon now, are definitely 100%... Oh, no, I think one of the other ones was superheroes. Like, Dragon Ball Super... Or, yeah, Dragon Ball Heroes. Sorry, there we go. Because I think Heroes is now canon, because I think I seen something about Capsule Corp Goku being canon. And Capsule Corp Goku is just fucking 10 tons of nuts. So that means, like... And if Heroes is now canon, that also makes Super Saiyan 4 canon, Capsule Corp Goku, Zeno Goku, and all of the rest of them. Which is, still a little ridiculous in its own right. I think it's funny. I don't think they're still here right now. But I just looked over at the chat, and the last person that joined the chat was Vegeta. I think his ears were burning. I love when stuff like that happens, when I'm talking about something, or like playing a certain game or whatever, and I, like, even if I don't have the right tags for something, and then somebody comes in from, like, the game I'm playing or whatever conversation is happening. Vegeta just decided to stop by for a second because he's like, my ears are burning. I need to teleport to wherever they're at. And he was just like, yep, I definitely feel the power level of whoever's talking about me. Time to go. Just stopped in for a second. Just wanted to make sure we weren't bad-mouthing him. I'm trying to remember how many rings were there now. I know there's a picture of it somewhere, and people had it labeled with what they think the timelines were.
Just another
battle. But obviously, like, the main line, and I can't remember or not, but I think this was also a Akira Toriyama confirmed thing. I think the original timeline, like the actual, like, main timeline for Dragon Ball Z is actually the one where Goku did die of the heart attack, or the heart virus. Like, I think that was, like, the original timeline, and then the one that, when Trunks came back in time, was where it first split off. So, obviously, like, I think there's at least 5 rings. I could be wrong. But that would give it, Capsule Corp Goku is a thing. He's from Dragon Ball Heroes. There are 6 rings. So there'd be the original timeline where Goku died. When Trunks came back. GT. Like the GT timeline. Xenoverse. Super Heroes. So there's 5. And... Oh, no, somebody's really hurt. Go back to that one. So there's 5. I'm trying to think what the last one would be. And then I think somebody had it labeled as Kakarot, like the Kakarot game. But I feel like there's a different one that could be. But yeah, like that right there would would sync up to every single one of those rings. But yeah, Capsule Corp Goku, I think is canon. I'm not 100% sure. I remember seeing something about it, but like, you know, with the internet and people loving to make up their own canons or false information spreading. But I think, but yeah, Capsule Corp Goku is apparently the strongest version of Goku, if I remember correctly. Closely followed by, I think it's Zeno Goku. And I can't, and like, if you don't know who Zeno is basically the Omni King, the one who created all of the, I think it's 12 universes in Dragon Ball that show up in Dragon Ball Super. Although I think there was 16, if I remember correctly, and they got rid of 14 to 16, or there might have even been more than that. They got rid of a couple of them because they were too strong or something like that. I forget what it was.